Hello, fellow mutants. Welcome back to another video. Keeping that. And in this video, we're going to talk about how the Flash showrunner is hopeful that the Arrowverse is not over. At least that's what the title was saying. So let's give this a read, because you guys know I've been keeping up with the Arrowverse, with all the potential rumors, news, and what so. So let's give this a read. When the Flash races across the finish line in next week's series finale, it marks the end of an era. What they mean, next week is like the week I'm posting this on, because this was released on the 18th. Excuse me, the 18th of May, and I'm reading this on the 19th of May. And most likely we'll be releasing this video after the 19th, so yeah. Anyways, it marks the end of an era. As the last standing Arrowverse series, the CW's interconnected TV universe is ending with it. But showrunner Eric Wallace tells EW that he didn't write an ending for the Arrowverse in the episode, in the hopes that another show can keep it alive in the future. "Quote unquote, I still am hopeful that the Arrowverse is not over. I approach it as the Flash is over, and I want to make the best Flash series finale as possible. On the other side, of course, there is no Batwoman, there's no Legends, there's no Black Lightning, there's no Arrow or Supergirl. It is very strange. All of the shows that were on Earth Prime, they're all going away. So what's going on? What does that mean? I don't know." After Arrow's successful debut in 2012, the Arrowverse officially began with when Barry Allen, Grant Gustin, spun off into his own series in 2013, and the networks aired an inaugural crossover, Flash vs. Arrow. Over the next decade, the shared TV universe grew exponentially, eventually hitting its peak in 2019 to 2020, a massive Crisis on Infinite Earths saga. Arrow concluded its run shortly after, marking the beginning of the end. Supergirl and Black Lightning followed suit the next year, and in 2022, Batwoman and Legends of Tomorrow were cancelled too soon. I feel like Batwoman should have been canned in season 2. That show was horrible. But Legends of Tomorrow, I agree with. That show was GC as hell, but leaned into it. And for some reason, I really enjoyed the cheesiness. So I feel like Legends of Tomorrow probably should have had one more season to wrap things up, in my opinion. Anyways, when Supergirl and Lois declared in his season 2 finale that it no longer exists in the same Earth where the TV universe takes place, the Flash officially became the last standing Arrowverse series. And technically, I know on this channel I've been saying that it's confusing whether or not Superman and Lois wants to be part of the Arrowverse, not. And I still stand by that statement. But I feel like it can still be connected to the Arrowverse on a different Earth. I mean, first season of Supergirl wasn't on the CW, right? Of course, it eventually moved to the CW. But my point is, Supergirl, until the Crisis crossover, was on a different Earth, where most of our Arrowverse heroes were on Earth 1 at the time when it was called Earth 1, before it was called Earth Prime. And I believe, if memory serves me right, Supergirl was on Earth 38. So my point is, Superman and Lois can technically still be part of the Arrowverse, but not being on the same Earth as of our hero primes, or Earth Prime heroes of the Arrowverse, and that makes sense. I know, it's still confusing. Maybe I'm hoping too much. Um, when Superman and Lois declared, so the Flash officially became the last standing Arrowverse series. "Quote unquote, I'm going to have lunch with Superman and Lois showrunner Todd Helping in the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to tell him, if you get a first season, you've got to sneak some Arrowverse in there. You are now carrying the torch." Helping, who served as showrunner on The Flash for season 2 through 5, smiles as he thinks about the potential of keeping the Arrowverse alive. In Superman Lois reverses its decision, but he doesn't know if he'll even get that chance if the series hasn't been renewed yet, and the CW slate of original shows continues to get slashed by new owners next door. "Quote unquote, I will say this, it sure is a lot easier now that other shows aren't on the air. People's schedules are a lot easier to work around, so maybe. I would love to see Grant on, and I think it would be a lot of fun to see Candice Patterson's Iris with Elizabeth Tulloch's Lois Lane, so we'll see. So I always push that name, so sorry. As of now, and whether or not he likes it or not, Wallace is bringing the Arrowverse to a close when the Flash series finale airs Wednesday. "Quote unquote, I've wrapped up a lot of things in the series finale, and it ends on a very hopeful note that shows you how the future of the Arrowverse could continue in some way, shape, or form. It's hopefully gives people closer and also some hope for the future, because otherwise it's very sad to think that there's no more crossovers, that there won't be an Arrowverse after May 24th. That saddens me because I love it so much, and it was such a big part of not just my life, but a whole fan base's life." So, the Flash series finale airs Wednesday, May 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Pacific Time on the CW. So, I didn't even know the showrunner of Superman and Lois was on The Flash. So, like, if there's season 4, yeah, he could say, yeah, report of the Arrowverse, bring in Grant Gustin as Barry Allen, bring in, like, Green Arrow from a different Earth, because our Green Arrow is also dead, like Earth Prime's version. So, or whatever. The, like, opportunities are practically endless. And the Superman Lois show hasn't even got, like, a designated Earth yet. Like, Stargirl was on a new Earth too. Swamp Thing was on an Earth of its own. Titans is on an Earth of its own. Like, at the end of the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, we had, we saw some shows, plus the, Brendan Routh Superman, all getting, like, their Earth assigned. So I am very interested to see if they're going to pull in the Grant Gustin as Flash in season 4 of Superman and Lois, if they do that. Like, if they have a season 4, I mean. So, that said, what do you beautiful people have to say? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And we'll talk to you fellow musicians later.